All right, guys, what is going on? It is Friday. It is not Wednesday. Thank you for that. All right. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Yeah, dude, I slept in today. No pen. All right. I'm just tired, dude. You know? I'm just tired. That's all, chat. So I was like, oh, I got to start the stream. Didn't even bother changing the title. If you thought I was perfect, you found out, right? You found out. So, Fatful Friday, normal Friday, whatever floats your boat, chat. Whatever floats your boat. So, what's good, Roberto, Scott, Dan, Torty, Slowly, Capitalist, Eberneth, Mason, Adam. Who else? Julius, Lewis. Who else is here today? Who else is here, chat? Anyway, I posted a picture on social media. My Instagram story, posted it on Facebook as well. Something very similar to this. So I feel like this is definitely a good study for this weekend. If you have been following along this entire week, I remember on Wednesday, it may have been again on Thursday, but I do know on Wednesday, you guys had asked about, like when would I start to go long, right? Do you remember the answer that I gave you? Do you remember the answer that I gave you? Somebody knows, chat. Who knows it? Patch said more evidence. Slowly said after liquidity got taken. Okay. Basically, right? More evidence. If you remember from Wednesday's live stream, right? That 12 to 1 o'clock, like right in here. If you remember, I'm pretty sure that I was telling you this is not a good environment to long. You know, we haven't really seen like a manipulation portion of a price action on like a really small time frame, I guess. Like a 1 minute, yeah, you'll find it, but that's not always going to set the low. It was the 2 p.m. low and the 6 p.m. low here that got ran during Asia, I believe that is, right? So some lows swept. Then, right, we get that reversal. Thursday's 7:30, I believe it was, and then our equities, because the 1 hour is kind of chopped. That Thursday, I don't remember what the news was yesterday at 7:30, but it was something, right? That created that imbalance. And then equity, we'll zoom in. Some of you probably can't see that. You're probably like, what are you looking at? That 8:30, our equities open, dropped us lower. And even that 8:45 candle dropped us into that here. And I'm including that gap. I think I said that in the market review yesterday. Right? So there was opportunity to long. Now, this also did trade lower for these lows, and that is a very small time frame sell model inside of a larger time frame buy model. So maybe you went long, maybe you didn't. Maybe you went long after the lows got taken out. We don't get a new high of day. So are we always going to take you know, super ridiculous bangers every day. Not necessarily. Sometimes you might think it's going to go higher and it doesn't. And you'll take a loss or a break even or whatever. Today at 8:30, here's our equities open, and we launched straight for 68.82 and a half. So although not as clean, we don't get the same amount of time on the sell side delivery on the buy side, right? You could easily tell we went lower pretty quickly, and it took us a little bit longer to trade higher. Bulls take the stairs, bears jump out the window, right? So that's what I would study this weekend, right? We talked about, well, I mean, I mentioned it to the public, right? That we left behind some clean highs at 68.82. That's on the way down. I'm not necessarily trying to pick the low. That was right at the 50% level of a higher time frame imbalance, but that may not be the low. Not until, again, we get manipulation. Manipulation will set the low. Always. Now it can just hit a higher time frame imbalance one time and then rally. It may take out like an old low or something, which I would still consider manipulation. But especially when we have equal highs, the low will not be set until the manipulation portion happens. It's always in order. It will never not be out of order. Okay? And that's the fun part. That's the easy part. This is why we can tweet stuff well in advance. No, we're not always trying to time it. We're not always trying to catch the low. But we want to keep, no, remember earlier this week I said, but I would keep that level on your chart, right? Keep that 68.82 level on your chart. We're at the 68.90s, right? And what I would study is how we made the low, when we made the low. Asia usually doesn't make the low of the week like that, but who am I to argue with price, right? Study how we made the low, when we made the low, and then study the opportunities in the direction of opposing liquidity. That's what I would study if I were you. I know some of the holidays are coming up. Maybe you got gifts to wrap or traveling to go see your in-laws or whatever. I don't know. But if you're going to study something this month, this is what I would do. And also, I would combine what we talked about on Wednesday, the timing tool, right? The time compression matrix, looking at the open and the closes of hourly charts, or hourly candles rather, 15-minute candles, maybe 30-minute candles, right? Those little fluctuations against your bias. You get me? Drop some ones in the chat if you guys understand. What's good, H? Drop some ones if you guys are here, you're paying attention, you understand, like, yeah, buy models are always going to look the same. They're going to leave equal highs, they're going to wreck some lows, and then after the lows are wrecked, they're going to run for the highs. You may not always time it correctly. You might take a break even on the way, especially if your stop is too tight. Or if you're, I remember someone had posted a chart yesterday up in here. And that's what I was telling them, because they had traded something like this. They were longing here for that, and I'm like, look at the logic here, right? If that's your target and the low's been set, like, you're longing above 75%. That's a deep premium. Okay, we get back into a discount here. That's also probably what helps qualify buying below old lows in a discount. So I'll throw that in there. You probably won't write it down and ask me about it later, but that's okay. And then like today, easy, straight up. So I don't know, chat, something worth studying. I do not really care for where everything is here. Like where we're at today. Here's another little nugget for you too. and I've said this a few times already before, but whenever, especially for indices, but whenever we get to a higher time frame target, like something that we've been stalking, like this week, the 68.82 for ES, once that gets met, I don't know what's going to happen after that. Continuation, reversal, consolidation, I don't know. And then you know what else makes things a little bit more difficult too is I think NQ is going to catch up. It's like 15 points away, but I do think NQ is going to make a new high of day, even though it is lagging pretty significantly behind ES. Because we get stuff like this, which isn't a problem, and then we get stuff like this with Dow, where it makes like this really big flag here too, and I don't like those. You know, generally I would be bearish on it, but ES being strong, NQ like looking like it wants to make a new high of day, Dow might do the same thing, even though this is a really obvious flag here. So when things are mixed like this, when we hit a higher time frame objective like ES, right, smacking into that buy side liquidity, after that, dude, and it's Friday too, for me personally, it is low probability conditions after that. Do I think gold can rally to previous day high? Well, I don't even know which gold you're looking at. I don't know if it's the futures or the CFDs or what. Excuse me. Gold is lagging behind silver pretty bigly. Pretty bigly. I don't think that's going to catch up. It's weak compared to silver. Thursday high of the week phenomenon, most likely. I don't know, I could, but that's kind of a speed run analysis there. I don't know. This just doesn't look good to me. Yeah. This looks like something I would not trade. Oh, XAU USD. And it's probably going to be very similar. Although the futures have a little stop run right here. And Oanda's data, I guess, there's not. I'm sure spread probably did take people out if they had a stop at that low. The spread definitely got you. Yeah, this just doesn't look good to me. Yeah, these internal highs aren't even the same either. And that's why CFDs kind of suck, because they can make their own shit up. But I mean, at best, if you were excuse me, if you were working within this range here, there is some internal highs there. I mean, I guess trading towards that would have been okay, but that's why I was swapping back over to the futures to see like if that was there, and it's not. They're all different. The lows are different, the highs are different. It just looks terrible to me. Good question though. So anyways, what other questions you guys got? Because I really don't have much else for you. If you want today, I would study the lows as well. Let's go into ES for a minute. If you remember what I said in the Discord, it was around 11. I don't actually remember what time it was, but at a certain point, I told you Dow had a flag, and I told you SPY had not traded to its highs yet, which I found interesting. If you did not look at it, I don't know why, but if you remember, or if you could post the time, that'd be cool, so we could verify that. But those same highs on Thursday, right? Let's go back to the futures for a minute. So on ES, right? What I like to do is compare ES and SPY together, right? And ES, those highs were from Wednesday, right? 68.82.5. That's from Wednesday. Okay. Pre-market. And this had highs on Thursday in the AM session, right? And I want to say Wednesday pre-market's up here. So these highs not cleared, and then Thursday's highs as well were not cleared at the time that I had, whatever time I said that in the Discord. So this may not even be done. We may not have made a high of day. We may continue. So, but I think doing stuff like this is a good way to know if you should hold one position over the other. Like if you're like, let's say you're long ES or micro ES and it took out the 68.82 level and you're like, okay, this is what we wanted, we could TP here, cool. Or you could look at SPY and go, well, it has those same highs up here, but it also has a lower set on Thursday here. If SPY does want to continue higher, then we could hold ES for more, and it could go beyond 68.82 and go up into the 90s or whatever's after that, 6,900 or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like this, these internal lows here, I would study that too. I would study that too. Study what, John? What are you talking about? Well, if you look at this, right? This is 9:15 and 10 o'clock. Open of a new hour, by the way. Right? From 9:15 to 10 o'clock, we have a higher low on ES. NQ, okay, 9:15 to 10 o'clock. Do we have a higher low? No. We have a lower low. See that? So that, again, as always, I've been teaching this for a really long time. That is one way to confirm. Not that we really use confirmations around here, but that is one way to verify or confirm or trust that the one that's making a lower low, or in another case, if it was a higher high, manipulation. So NQ is under manipulation, ES is under accumulation. So that's another way to understand that the low may not be, the high may not be set. We still might be bullish. So you could either hold a runner or hold the entire position, depending. Does that make sense? Drop some twos in the chat if that makes sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right? Or something like that. Okay, cool. Nicholas dropped a 10. That's crazy. That's crazy. Which is another reason why I still think we could make a new high of day for NQ. Not exactly a market maker buy model, but it would make sense if they're gonna take price lower, if they're gonna run or sweep rather. They're going to sweep a low, right? They're going to distribute somewhere. We have some highs here, or like we have a high here that the market stabs above. We could probably see some profit taking there, but I feel like they would want to take it up here. Price would want to be taken up here, right? Get longs out. Smart money is going to buy below old lows, accumulate more, probably accumulate more, and then run it. Yeah, feel me? Catch up with ES. Distribute overnight longs and longs from Thursday. So that is what I think is likely to happen. TP hit on cable end of week for me. Oh yeah, no, that's a good job. That is a good job, my friend. So at the end of the day, it's about taking high probability setups, keeping our risk at a minimum, and staying patient. Patience to wait for trades to set up, the courage to place the trade, and the patience to allow that trade to pan out. You know what I mean? We can get complicated. We can get very complicated. Or, if you like, we can just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's a one of the laws as well. Today is OPEX. Well, I do not have anything on my Forex factory, red folder wise. But yeah. Oh, contracts expire. Yeah, it is the third Friday of December. That makes sense too. So probably some rolling over, right? Some rollovers, old contracts expiring or settling or whatever, and then continuing that same position. So triple witching day, they call it. Thanks, Sean. Second leg, it is something awesome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trump speaking at 9 p.m. Oh, that's not for a while. I'm pretty sure. So some of my active duty friends are saying that they're getting checks or about to get checks for 1776. I don't know if that's real or not, but if that's real, that's some thuggery, honestly. Jake Paul fight tonight. What's the probabilities? It's 100% staged. I can tell you that. I'd put my entire net worth and all my credit cards and all my business accounts and all my business credit cards, and I'll sell all my shit and then leverage all of that to say 100% rigged, staged. That's what I think. I would stay out of bars this evening, especially past midnight. Don't drink and drive, Chad. Whether you have autopilot or not, I don't recommend drinking and driving. People get stupid. People are already stupid enough, okay? People already drive like shit, and it's even worse when their decision making is hindered and their reaction time is hindered as well. You know, like on YouTube, you can change the speed, right? They're on like 0.5.
It's terrible. So, because that's usually what happens, like on like UFC nights or some sort of fight night. That's what happens. Everybody goes out to watch the fight, drink, whatever, amongst other things. And things get very dangerous after like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So just be careful. You have Amish buggies that go around? Yeesh. That's that's interesting. That is interesting. They are I have so many books. I can't remember. I can't remember where I put them. It's in Technopoly. It might be in my backpack. That's like the opposite of a technophile. People, and it's no disrespect, but it's like people who are against technological advancements. They don't want internet and electricity and cell phones and all that stuff. And I've heard so many stories of cars hitting buggies and they never survive. You're in a wooden box getting hit by a 2-ton vehicle. Or I don't know how much cars weigh, but you get the point. Like you're getting screwed up bigly. All in the name of we don't want technology. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy idea to me. But you know, and again, no disrespect. It's just the world is full of people that have different beliefs, and that's fine. I personally probably wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like it. Yeah, I agree, Mason. Um, but this is another reason why I like reading and I like telling you guys to read because the world is a fascinating place. Technology is a fascinating thing. Human nature is a fascinating thing too. And when you start making all these various connections, you see the world differently. And you start to I want to say you start to see both sides of things or like all sides of things. You know? Like I'll give you another example where you might think, "Hey, I don't understand the Amish. That's wild." Right? Cuz that used to be me and it still kind of is, but I get it though. Like it's a culture thing, it's a religious belief thing. You know, if they like what they're doing and that's what they believe in, you know, then it's cool, right? You can't just go in there and change their beliefs, right? Not really. So you have to put yourself in other people's shoes to understand them, right? Also, at the same time, you might think, well, you know, it's awesome to have electricity and internet and all these social media sites and, you know, Netflix and all this stuff. But at the same time, every piece of technology, it has its pros, but it has its cons too. You know, the Amish, they might love being connected to nature, being outside and doing whatever it is that they do versus someone, let's say like me, for example, who likes to be in front of the computer, who likes to be on social media a little bit. But for a lot of people, the internet and social media is a prison for them because they're a slave to acceptance, right? Or they're a slave to attention. They're a slave to, you know, drama or notifications or whatever. And a lot of people are anxious and depressed. So the Amish could see that as a bad thing. It's like, why are you on the internet so much if you're depressed all the time? Right. There's multiple sides to every story, chat. You see what I'm saying? There's pros and cons to everything. So, I don't know. It's just interesting. I'm just trying to make you guys smarter. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I want you to make better decisions. I want you to be more comfortable with who you are and to become better than who you are. You know? I promise if you learn to make better decisions, your life will improve. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. To make the best decisions, to be smarter, to think differently, right? There's mental models, there's the rabbit hole conversations, and of course, everything that you learn from books as well, which is why you need to read. That's why you need to read. Not also read, but you need to learn how to read well. And that brings me right to what I wanted to talk about before we hopped off today, was book of the month for January. January's book of the month for 2026 is How to Read a Book by Mortimer Adler and Charles Van Doren. Mortimer Adler, yeah, and Charles Van Doren. I know I've said this a few times already the last few days, but it's only proper. It's only logic, you know, it makes logical sense that before we get into reading other books, that we got to learn how to read well. Otherwise, you're just going to read it, forget it, and you're going to waste your time. And that's, I really do not want to do that. I hate when people waste my fucking time. I don't want to waste other people's time. Thank you, Patch. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. I don't always know what I'm doing, but sometimes I know what I'm doing. Right? I don't have any thoughts on the dollar index. At times I thought, or at times I think it would be good to not be part of the American mega marketing machine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Every country has its pros and cons too. You know, America's a wonderful country. We do have a dark and violent history. We do. We have a very racist history. We do. Okay? America's government treated black people, Mexicans, a lot of pretty much everywhere else in, you know, what they would call immigrants, right? And especially, don't cancel me, but the like Native Americans, right? Treated all of them very poorly. There were wars, there was a lot of death, there was a lot of segregation, there was a lot of fuckery. Big time. And we still have a long way to go. But every country, every way of trading, every house, car, whatever, everything's going to have its pros and cons. Everything. You know what I mean? I did not practice that. And yes, Torty, I do. I do think the higher time frame is bullish. We may not hit all-time highs before the end of the year. That's only a week and a half away. We may not do that. Oh yeah, I doubt it. So the high of the year is probably already set. At least for triple Q's. SPY, possibly. It is possible SPY could make a new high if you're Dow, I have no idea. But overall, fairly bullish, yeah. Yes, sir. But let me ask you guys this in closing, because I really don't have much else for you. Have you looked at the list yet? Like, have you looked at the 2026 list, book of the month list? There's 11 books. What book or books do you feel most excited about? Which ones are you most excited? Like, what book do you think you're going to learn the most from? Probably 48 Laws of Power, but maybe the other ones. Out of all the other ones, what do you think? What book are you excited for? What book do you think you're going to learn a lot from? Scott says Atomic Habits. You know, I read that book a long time ago. That was one of the first books that was ever gifted to me by my friend, which I'm still friends with. She's great. But I think she got me that book for my birthday like 5 years ago or 4 years ago or something. It's a good one. I'm interested about 48 Laws just because I've heard people say negative things, so I want to see where we can find the positive. I don't know a single person that has read 48 Laws of Power and said that, and like said negative things about it. It's usually the people who say negative things about 48 Laws that haven't actually read the book. So their opinion is less than dog shit. Because they're judging something they haven't read. It's stupid. Those people are stupid. Those are the same people that should read the fucking book. And other books too. But that's the thing, man. People love to comment on things they don't fucking understand. Or don't know about. That movie sucks. Really? What sucked about it? Oh, I don't know. I ain't watch it. What type of shit is that? Stupid. It's because they're judging the title. Oh, 48 Laws of Power. Oh, that's fucked up. No. It's, number one, it's history. Number two, knowing those laws will help you recognize other people who are trying to have power over you. So you can use that as a defense mechanism. Idiot. Oh, that book is this and that. Idiot. Idiot. It's the most misjudged book like of all time. Well, maybe the Bible's probably the most misjudged book, honestly. But in today's world, like out of all the self-help books out there in the last 50 years, 48 Laws is the most highly misjudged book ever in the last 50 years, period. It's manipulative. It's not. For the same reason I just told you. Libra, that's funny. Wow, capitalist. I mean, hey, we already knew that. It is the most banned book as well, at least in America. A lot of the prison systems have banned that book too. But thank you for verifying that. We definitely appreciate that. I remember when I was locked up, Robert Greene's books were banned. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm more excited to read it. Yeah. I know a couple at the top of my head, not all of them though, but I know number 1 is Never Outshine the Master. I think it's number 4. I could be wrong. Always Say Less Than Necessary. That is a good one. And then I think number 9 is Win Through Action, Not Through Argument. That's a big one. For real. Because anybody can argue. But you have to have results to back up your shit. You know what I mean? I could say this and say that. I could say whatever. But you can't drive a demo car. You know what I mean? You can't do it. So well, Libre, I don't think it's surpassing the master. I think it's like it's outshining. There's a difference. Like with you guys, I want you to surpass me. I want you to get better entries. I want you to hold trades for bigger swings. Like I want everybody to be better. That's different. versus like, let's say outshining, meaning like you're trying to bite the hand that feeds you. Like you're trying to diss your mentor in front of other people. That there's a difference there. Because that stuff I never understood. Like the people who are students of mine and then they go off and they unfollow me, they take the things that I taught them and go make their own shit with it and never credit me or anything. And like that I don't understand. You know, that I think is bullshit. But that's the difference between like surpassing your mentor or like being disrespectful. There's a difference there. But I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm not going to take offense to that. I'm not going to take offense to a successful fucking student. Why would I do that? The point of me teaching you is so you can be successful. So I'm not like other mentors in the aspect that, oh, you're doing good, I'm going to hide you, you know, from the spotlight. No, I'm going to give you the spotlight. I'm going to repost your shit. I'm going to put your name out there. I'm going to say, hey, look, everybody, Lee Bright's doing good. His community is doing good. Individual names are doing good. Here are my people. You know what I mean? I'm going to give the spotlight away as much as I can, not hide it from myself. That's stupid. So, but anyway, we'll get there. We'll get to 48 laws. That'll be interesting. And that's also why that book is 2 months long, not one, because it is a long book. And if we did one law per day, which is easy, it's easy. One law per day, we would get through the first 24 in 24 days. And then 25 through 48, we would get through the rest of like that second month. And on the second month, there would be more time as well to catch up on laws that you missed if you didn't read one every day, if that makes sense. There's plenty of time to focus on that, if that makes sense. Anyway, in the interest of saving time, I'll go ahead and cut it here, okay? January is not all that far away. There's a reason I made the 2026 book of the month list already. I put it out like a week or two ago. I put that out in advance, right? Because we want to get a jump start on it. You want to buy the next 2 or 3 books, be my guest. And there's a reason that I keep telling you as a reminder, because we have about a week and a half until the new year. All right. So you don't have to wait for January to start reading either. You can get a jump start on book of the month now. You don't have to wait for a change of the calendar date. Okay. You can get it. You can get ahead of it. So set yourself up for a good 2026. All right. Don't be like everybody else. So with that, I feel like that's a good way to close it. You guys be good, be blessed. Study the things I told you about this weekend. Okay. I think I posted an hourly chart, but you want to go down into the details and study this stuff. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Monday. On the 20th. Oh, no, I lied. Sorry. I didn't write it down. I will be busy on the 22nd. So we will actually be here Tuesday, the 23rd. Sorry, Tuesday, the 23rd. Write that down in case I forget. I'll see you Tuesday, the 23rd, not Monday. All right, Tuesday, the 23rd. Have a good extended weekend.